must disconnect the battery. You could hurt yourself or cause more damage to the vehicle. Do not skip this step. Once you get the battery disconnected, you can go ahead and remove the serpentine belt. I have another video showing you exactly step by step on what you need to do to remove this serpentine belt. Just click on the little tab where the arrow is pointing and come back once you've seen that. Once you have the belt off, you can grab your tool out of the belt tensioner and get to work on the alternator. You want to start by removing the two long 13 millimeter bolts that are holding the alternator onto the bracket. The second bolt has a nut in the back. Usually you can hold it with just your hand. If that doesn't work, I'd go ahead and use a wrench. Then I would attach the nut to the bolt so that you don't lose it. There's one more 13 millimeter nut that needs to come off, and it's behind the alternator. You might want to use your extension here, as a socket alone might not be enough. Once you have that bolt loose, you can go ahead and use a pry bar and start prying the alternator off of the bracket. Just any little gap you have, shove the pry bar in there and start prying upwards. It's going to fight you a little bit, but it shouldn't be too hard to get out. Once it's loose, you can start maneuvering it so you can get to the connections in the back. One of them is the connection for the battery cable, which is held on by a 13 millimeter nut. This is the reason why you need to disconnect the battery. If this touches ground, it will arc and you could fry some computers. Then you have a connector, which you could usually pop off with just a finger. If not, a flat screwdriver will work fine. Then I would go ahead and take off this little pipe that's holding onto the alternator. It's just another 13 millimeter, and pull that off because you're going to need to put it onto the new alternator.
Now for going back in, I would put this back on first. I wouldn't tie the bolt all the way down. Just keep it nice and loose so that you can move this around and get it in here and be able to slide it where it needs to go. I would plug this in and I would put this boot, this battery cable connector in first before sliding it in to its bracket. Once it's in the bracket, or once all that is in, I would slide it onto this portion first, then come down, slide this bar in here into place, and then tap it in with a rubber mallet if you need to get it lined up. I'm not showing you how to install it because I am tearing this car apart. It's not going back together. But that's all it really takes. You just follow the same steps you did taking it out, going back in. You should be all right.
If this video helped you at all, please do me a solid and hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it.